to the river, let's go down to the river, going down the back and all. Yeah, we will have some fun. Get your daddy's old guitar and get your daddy's gun. Big brother will buy the beer, we will shed a couple rounds. Stack up all the emptiness and then we're not going down to the river, let's go down to the river, let's go down to the river, going down to the river, let's go down to the river, let's go down to the river, going down on our luck. You know what comes the cost of everything we do and done and all that we have lost. You know we empty out our pockets, oh, just to get around. The rich, they keep on rising up, the poor keep falling down. To the river, let's go down. To the river, let's go down. To the river, going down. To the river, let's go down. To the river, let's go down. To the river, going down. Go the faces of another dad and mom. Down goes another soldier to a roadside bar. Well, I read it in our paper and on the faces of our town. Tomorrow we go to Beacon, Illinois to lay him down. To the river, let's go down. To the river, let's go down. To the river, going down. To the river, let's go down. To the river, let's go down. To the river, going down. To the river, let's go down. To the river, let's go down. To the river, going down. To the river, let's go down. To the river, let's go down. To the river, going. Thank y'all for coming out tonight. How you feeling? I appreciate y'all coming out.
Get it, Cody.
I'm gonna sing this one song. Actually, I'm gonna tell y'all a little story, and then I'm gonna take like a 2-minute break. Because I've had so many drinks, I need to go to the bathroom. And then I'm gonna come back here and play like the raunchiest, craziest 5-song set you've ever heard. Full with horns and electricity and all kinds of stuff. But I do appreciate y'all coming out tonight. Well, I got this gig down in Bloomington, Illinois. I was playing at this place called the Lizard's Lounge, and I played there every Thursday night for $25 and no free beer.
Bullshit!
Which meant I walked out of the bar usually about $12 in the hole. But it was a good gig, and I started singing a lot, and I started playing a lot of house parties, and I started playing a lot of bars, and I started playing a lot of cafes, and this is back when you could still smoke in Central Illinois, Illinois at all,
Yeah.
you know.
Keep it up.
How do you feel about that? Anyways, I started to play like 5 or 6 nights a week, and this friend of mine, they call him Old Man Shapiro, he came up to me and he said, you know, Cody, you know, just listen to me for a second. He said, you know, maybe if you're going to start playing music for a living and singing for a living, maybe you should think about possibly, I don't know, taking some voice lessons. And I said, well, that's not a bad idea. And he said, I know this guy at this local university who gives voice lessons, and I'm not going to tell you all which local university was, but it was the big one in Bloomington, Illinois. Bloomington Normal, that is. So I went over to this guy's house on the east side of Bloomington, Illinois. There was a great big old brick house on the east side. And I went over there with my guitar, and I walked into his house, and I started pulling my guitar out of his case. And he said, you won't be needing that. And I said, what do you mean I won't be needing this? And he said, you won't need your guitar for this. And I said, well, sir, I've never sang without my guitar. He said, maybe a couple times in the shower. And he said, what you're going to do today is you're going to follow me up and down this piano. And I said, okay, I'll do my best. And he went up and down the piano, and he was playing all this crazy stuff, and I was trying to follow him, and I was failing miserably, people at the store. I was failing miserably. And he kept going up and down the piano, and I kept trying, and I kept failing. And he kept going, and I kept trying, and I kept failing. And finally, he closed the piano, and he said, "Kid, that's it." And I said, "Well, what do you mean that's it?" And he said, "Kid, that's it." And I said, "Well, sir, are you going to give me voice lessons?" And he looked at me and he said, "Kid, I can't work miracles." So I grabbed my guitar that was already in its case because I never got it open, and I stormed out of that guy's house on the east side of Bloomington, and I went back home. And I went to my apartment at 302 and a half East Mulberry in Bloomington, Illinois. You may have heard of 302 and a half East Mulberry, Illinois. It's kind of a famous place. Anyways, you might notice that there's a fraction in that address. You know, if there's a fraction in your address, ladies and gentlemen, the times are a little bit tough. But I lived at 302 and a half East Mulberry proudly. And I was this broke-ass, starving musician. And to own, or at least live in a half of a place, ladies and gentlemen, I was thrilled. And I had many good times in my half of a home. And I walked up those rickety-ass stairs of 302 and a half East Mulberry, and I pulled my guitar out of its case, and I started playing, and I locked myself in my room, and I just kept practicing, and singing, and practicing, and singing, and I started writing, and in like 4 days of locking my ass in my own bedroom, I wrote like 15 songs, and I made a vow that very day, Store, that I do not care if I ever become famous. I do not care if I ever become rich. I do not care if I'm ever on the cover of a magazine. I just want to get good enough where I can go back and tell that guy to kiss my ass.
Yes! Fuck yeah!
And I'm not there yet, folks.
Yes,
I'm
you
not
are.
there yet.
Yes, you are.
But some of you may have heard, I'm working on it. I'm working on it. I'm hoping that sticks might not be the perfect fix, but I'm working on it. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. I'm hoping that sticks might not be the perfect fix, but I'm working on it. Thank y'all for coming out tonight. Break, and I'll be right back with some more songs. Please don't go anywhere. Tip your bartender to smoke a joint, a cigarette, outside, and we'll see you soon.
1 minute, 1 minute.
It's my birthday. I'm tipsy. Thank you.